For the international community. Words.
What?
I'm gonna. Yeah.
50 shows deep, everybody. How you doing? What show number is this? Do we know?
59.
10 more to go.
Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, welcome everybody once again. Frack Paddy Wack live coming at you 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. And as always, you can find us on
You're watching in the morning. Twitch
on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and more than ever now on FFPW.
Live.
So we love y'all, miss y'all. Good to see you as always. I know that life is happening to everybody right now, but guess what? Suck it up. All right.
Get up.
Yeah. What?
You want to switch places?
Do I?
Yes.
What?
You said suck it up. Do you want to switch places?
Oh, no, I'm cool.
No,
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
I'm cool. We're cool. All right. So,
Hey, everybody.
so this is a big.
Again, we're here with
It's a murderous intent coming from over this side.
Absolutely.
But don't forget, always, please.
On theme of the night.
Yeah, which is actually going to jump into that. But before we get there, though, share, subscribe, like, ring a ding ling the bell.
Forget.
Gently. First.
Like whoever.
Well, I've had conversations. No, anyways, not the point. But anyways, so
Rock
yes.
show.
Don't forget also that FFPW.live, donate if you want to help buy me a drink. If you want to help donate
Don't
to
do
keep
that.
the show going. If you want to help, make Wack happy and not so grumpy. That'd be awesome.
He's grumpy today.
I just don't feel good.
All the right to be, so we understand that. But anyways, watch party. Do what you got to do. Invite your grandmother. We love her too. Why not, right? But with the events that are happening recently and with the discussion we had from last week, Wack, why don't you let us know what we'll be discussing about?
Oh, all right. So yeah, we're spinning the show around a little bit. Our focus segment's actually going to come at the end of the show, but we're going to talk about the true crime of the Ariel Castro Kidnappings. So we got a cool segment for you. That's going to be the last 45 minutes about 30 minutes of the show. So be sure to stick around and tune in for that. To kick off the show, we're going to talk about our niches and some trending topics and let you know what's going on in the world in case you have been tuned out or stuck at work and all of that stuff. Don't worry, we're not talking politics. That ain't this kind of show. And then we have our Something Awesome segment where we're going to tell you something awesome that's going on in our life. And maybe somebody awesome or something awesome. And then we have Grinds My Gears, so we can tell you something that annoys the shit out of us. It's going to be great. And then I spun the meme of the week up there right after Grinds My Gears to put some happiness back into it before we head into the depressing.
Yeah, I was saying it's an emotional roller coaster show because we're gonna be like, all right,
Die.
yeah.
So it's like,
Then,
you're almost going to escape the murder, and then you don't.
So like every single horror
And then
movie.
you did.
I made it to the police, and the police is actually in on it with murder.
So we got a cool show. Hopefully that was something that you guys are looking forward to, and about to click that share button and tell all your friends to tune in because we got you for the next hour and a half-ish. So we do have games. We have one game.
Oh.
A bracket.
A bracket game.
That's it. How's it work?
Scary bracket.
So, if
It's a
you
All here.
if you agree,
This
we
way.
all agree. We drink together. If you are in the minority of your decision, then you have to drink alone.
Chat.
It's really
Get in
not
there.
bad.
He's Venezuelan.
Quick side story
She's
about
tall. She's got purple.
that. No, quick. So speaking of that, I got a buddy of mine, and Chad, you know who you are exactly. And
Call them out.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of Chads, so I don't know which one it is exactly. But no, but it's funny. But I realized it's not just him actually. A lot of people say Venezuelan, not Venezuelan. They throw like an extra I in there. I'm like, why?
My Californian, I don't know, Floridian, like you.
No, go ahead. You're smiling. You're laughing. Please.
Complete sarcasm, everybody that's watching this show, because they come here illegal. Venezuelans. Please don't kill me. If you know me, this is just humor.
You got it before drink.
My whole rule is
Asshole. Drink.
Yes.
all right.
Well,
Tell us about your niches.
Well, keyword of the night, obviously.
Oh,
is-
yeah, we're gonna skip right into that, so.
Okay. It's going to be Kill. That's why I just told wife to take a drink.
Yeah.
Hashtags in the night FFPW. Hashtag Ariel Castro. Hashtag crew crime.
Crew crime.
Crew crime.
Crew crime.
True crime and hashtag kidnapping. Goodness gracious almighty. So now, sir, could you please tell us about the financial market today?
By the way, for those who are watching, they can't notice, but you're about to notice right now. I'll update the hashtags. My bad. So, anyways,
God, why do
yeah.
I do
So,
this?
so sometimes I feel weird, especially when I'm dressed like this right now. Like, let's talk about the financial market and things. But anyways, yeah. So right now, actually,
I like it better than we talk about whiskey and you're in a suit.
Well, that's when I'm more debonair.
Oh, sure.
So, anyways,
Tell us about the
yeah.
everything.
Okay, I'm smoking inside.
Stuff.
Anyways, so right now, actually, refinancing is still a good thing to be happening right now, both for your home and vehicle. Again, I know it's a lot lower when things were starting out, but again, people are concerned about like a bubble crisis within the housing market, et cetera, and whatnot. But no, there's so many things in place right now that it's helping avoid that. So right now, there's still actually very low rates that people should be looking into. If you have not thought about it, it's a great way to actually save money. And if you're saving an extra $40, $80, $150, that's maybe your emergency account. That's maybe more money to pay off your debts, or maybe it's money for your savings, or whatever it might be. Or maybe it's money you're throwing back into that same vehicle or home and paying off quicker on your principal. So look into refinancing. Only if it makes sense, though. Talk to a person. Don't just go straight into it. And this way you can actually see if you can save money. So that's a good thing happening right now. So still good rates happening. All right.
And good information.
What's up in Yes World?
Well, actually, it's more Erica World, and I know that I just said my name because I'm like super stoked about this. So Google and Samsung have united to reboot Android watches with a dose of Fitbit. And I know I've told you guys about this before that I really love the user interface of like the Fitbit better than the Apple and Android, but I couldn't find the newest generation of Fitbit that was on cellular. So I'm so super stoked that Google and Samsung are partnering to rebranch a Fitbit with cellular data. I'm so excited.
Cool.
But that was just my...
What's going on in our world? There's a blank spot there.
Excellent.
Yeah. Websites, e-commerce websites. That's one of the biggest things. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The crypto boom is kind of going, even though the crypto market kind of took a hit this week, as did all of the stock market. That's why he didn't talk about it.
Actually, today ended up
Today's
over 400.
Yeah. Another dip's coming before the weekend, though. So, anyways, or over the weekend. But that's your market, not mine. But at any rate, for those that want to make the move, that sell a product or offer services that can be paid for with no contact payments, then we can make the move to e-commerce. So hit us up, TBA Marketing. Let's draw some out. He's waving to
Don't worry, just the screen.
the,
It's,
the ghost of somebody that Castro murdered.
oh,
Dark humor, dark humor.
No.
it's gonna be that kind of night.
Oh my goodness.
Trending national.
What is going on?
So Google I/O is actually enabling the feature of being able to have life-size and in 3-dimension conversations. I know we've been watching this on Star Trek, Star Wars, and everything else, where you see like these 3D image of whoever you're talking
Hologram
to.
or
Yes,
yeah.
but they're calling it Google I/O. So they've branded it and they're making it happen. And I just thought that was kind of exciting and wanted to share that with y'all.
They're also hosting a week-long, like, Google I/O seminar right now.
Yeah, they're talking about it's going to affect not just the hologram stuff. I didn't read about that, but I saw that it was going to change SEO search results. Like when you search for a restaurant, it's only going to show you stuff that's open, or things that are open are going to come up first.
That's cool. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot.
Which means that anybody who's got a restaurant, you better update your hours.
Yeah, make sure you're
Because if you're not showing open, they're not going to show you
Go
first.
to
Make sure your Google My Business is up to date. All
Yeah.
that.
GMB, everybody go update your Google My
Yeah, that's
Business.
a-
GTG,
kind of a
go-to
good-
guy.
Thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so we're going back to our last segment.
Update your Google My
Update your
Business.
GMB.
Yeah. So now, outside of that, I know that everybody probably heard about the pipeline being hacked a while back.
Mhm.
But the funny part being
They did.
here,
I just got 4.4 million in Bitcoin.
timing. So yeah, so apparently, now Darkside is apparently a Russian hacker group, and that's who's being apparently or taking the kind of the. I don't know if they're taking the blame or taking the credit, because usually hackers are kind of proud of this kind of
Heck
thing.
yeah.
So, Anyways, but yeah, so apparently they paid him an actual money, about 5.3 million, but they actually paid him also 90 million in Bitcoin. But here's the funny part.
45.
Recently, the market had gone down, so the value of it went like almost like less than half.
Right.
But they had cashed it out and moved it already.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So
yeah.
it got paid to them and they moved it.
Yeah, they
and
moved
I
it
think
out.
that they
Yeah, it
sold
was just
which-
before.
I think
That's
they
probably
sold it, which is
one
part
of
of
the
the big
reasons.
deal.
Yeah. So and when I was reading that article, it's like 72% of that was paid out to the people who were like partners in that, and like the other 26% was paid out to like the main people in there who was doing all kind of stuff. And I'm going,
That's
So-
smart.
So if they know that this company received money and people are cashing out like their earnings or their ransom money, how can we not punish them for?
Because they might just be moving it into other wallets and things like that.
Right, and-
Trading it for other currency or stuff
Yeah,
like that.
So
And
no
you
one
can't-
actually knows.
Yeah,
who-
you,
so-
yeah, you have no clue.
so exactly. So that's the issue. And Chad, you've heard me say this 20 million times.
I didn't know if it was because like different jurisdictions, like
And it could
Yeah,
also,
well,
could
yeah,
also
yeah,
very
because-
much.
yeah, Russian American relations is still very choppy. But and that's the thing again,
and
Chad.
you can't punish
Even with
the
all the
Russian
collusion.
government because it's not the government; it's just citizens.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So and again, that's the issue. People why they love and hate crypto because of that. Exactly. Things can happen whereas they can't trace it whatsoever. So. Or do you know what it goes to? So, is that funding terrorist activities? Or is that maybe just somebody's payout, and that's going to help them with their family and give them food for a local shelter? I don't know. So, but anyways, it was just kind of funny that how nowadays, like, we're negotiating. It's like, we want $50 million in a helicopter. It's like, no, we want Bitcoin. Like, Ethereum too, or just Doge? Or what do you? I mean, it's surreal at the same
What I
time.
thought
like,
was
wow.
funny was, I mean, like, and they've collected a bunch, and now they posted up a tweet or something like that saying that they're basically like, we're going away. We're not doing stuff like this anymore because I think the governments were catching on to them.
Darkside?
Darkside.
Tweeted.
They-
So
yeah,
why are they allowed to have a Twitter account?
I don't know. 'Cause
Well,
it's all
it-
anonymous. It comes through. All you do.
You can't just
VPN.
ban
You go
Darkside?
through. You go through a VPN. No, well, and it's on
You
the
can
it's
ban
on
on
the,
Twitter.
on the dark web, not on Twitter.
Yes.
Gotcha.
A post.
Yeah, so somebody, a subreddit or something maybe popped up or whatever.
So yeah, they said, oh, we're not doing this anymore because it actually affected a world economy rather than it just because
Yeah.
basically they were hired to do something and somebody paid them and then they
Right, exactly.
released it. It wasn't like they paid that person the code for the coding. And they did all the coding.
For the ransomware.
They provided it to the people that were gonna release it. Those people released it, got the ransom, paid Darkside or whatever, and they were like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. It was never meant to be used in political warfare or anything like that. So yeah.
So they
Like,
say. What they say.
what did you think?
What
I
did
mean,
you think it was?
we thought we were just taking over celebrities' computers to get their porn fix. I didn't get paid for it.
All
And
right, listen.
instead,
I
they
need to
turned
talk to
it
Somalia
into-
out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right, Patty.
All right.
Death.
Yeah. So in the theme of the night, true crime, a man was standing trial in court in North Dakota, and the jury found him guilty. And right before the sentencing, he slit his throat and
Nice.
killed himself
How?
right in the courthouse.
How?
Okay,
Something
so
else.
he apparently snuck in like a plastic shank, like a sharp,
Jeez.
like, I don't know.
Probably filed down his darn toothbrush or something.
Yeah, something stupid. Wow.
I have no idea. They didn't say what it was. They just said a plastic shank, a sharp
Wow.
plastic shank. And the guy was probably only going to get like his sentence, or what the recommended sentencing was 7 years to life. But he probably was not going to get life. He had one previous charge of he says he was trying to break up vandalism, kids doing vandalism, but he drove his car at them. That was the first
Alright.
charge years ago. It got dropped, but he had still been to court.
You first start with a yell like, "Hey, stop that!" Then you do the car.
Knock it off or I'm gonna hit you with this car.
Yeah. Fair warning.
So this time, apparently, he saw kids vandalizing again, and he not only drove his car at them, but I guess when the kids started yelling at him, he jumped out of the car, jumped on the guy, started waving his gun, didn't point it at him, but apparently said, "I'm gonna call the cops. I've got one of them."
He sounds
Blah,
like a
blah.
fruitcake.
Yeah, he's
Sorry, he did.
probably crazy.
Yeah.
He asked the judge.
Oh.
Yes, he asked the judge if he could before his sentencing, if he could just have 24 hours before his sentencing to be free. And obviously denied. And then he's like, I need 24 hours to take care of a child care issue. And she's like, no, denied. And then that's when,
that's a bad joke.
yeah, and then his lawyer saw him fidgeting, like doing something with his collar. I guess he was slitting his throat. No one knew. But then he started screaming and, dying. So he's like,
So wait, the guy that just slit his throat was screaming?
yeah. As he was dying, he was.
Well,
He must not have cut the
He's probably going for the main
Okay.
artery. So as you can
That's
see
what I
right
was
here, because again, when you're going through here, that's when you hit your vocal cords and everything. So that's the windpipe and everything. If you go for the sides, you just do blood loss and you can still talk and everything. So.
That's what she
Hey, we're learning tonight.
Next,
Too much for me.
one of your 4 topics.
Yes. Well, someone put 2 topics in here for me.
Someone.
It was empty.
And the Texas governor Abbott. Okay. He signed
He's
an
a bot.
order. He's a bot.
Hey, Abbott.
He signed an
Texas
order
governor,
that allows Texans the right to choose on mask wearing. It prohibits government entities and schools from requiring people to wear masks.
Yeah, the
to
world's
enter
opening.
Good job, R2.
I'm sorry. I remember the whole thing
And
from
Wack wanted me to
Manti.
talk about Naomi Campbell is a mom at 50 years old.
I thought that was pretty.
That's
Thought
amazing.
that was pretty
I
crazy.
think she adopted.
Oh, she didn't give
Oh.
like birth.
Oh.
Never mind.
And
Not as
then
impressive.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, who is
Jennifer Love
42.
Hewitt, however,
She's 42 and she's having her 3rd child.
Okay. See.
which makes her family a party of 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it. It was
All right. Okay, we're blocking Wack. All right, team. So do we take a vote
Not
on
even
Wack?
an original joke. It's not an original joke. If you read the article, it was right there. So yeah,
Still.
two of the hot chicks of our time,
Oh, yeah, that would I agree.
having babies while they're old.
But modern medicine allows for that. So
42 is not old. How many sonograms you have when you had a baby at 30-ish? Late 30s?
So anyways, Wack, how about you talk about your topic instead of getting murdered
Trying
tonight?
to sleep on the couch.
Good luck sleeping, period.
So the Darwin's Arch, the top of it collapsed due to
yeah.
erosion on the Galapagos Island. So yeah, I saw that. So yeah, we'll toss an article up.
That thing.
What a pretty sight for photos and stuff like that.
yeah.
Scuba divers used to go out there and all kinds of stuff and do scuba diving and snorkeling, get amazing.
It was
photos.
that.
Yeah, it was.
It
Yeah,
was
now it's
this.
two
Now it's this.
Yeah.
No, it's just 2 columns.
Top of it, now it's just 2 columns. And then I saw this trending as well as saw several friends talking about it, but the child tax credit. So they're supposed to be starting to where they send out monthly payments of a couple $100. And what they're doing, instead of the lump sum, what they're doing is they're 50%ing it. So they're sending you out 50%, giving it to you monthly, and then you can claim the remaining half on your taxes at the end of the year, but you still need to claim the money that was given to you.
So they're making you do more of the work.
It's more work.
So yeah, no, they're making your accountant do more of the work, or
That's
if you
true.
don't have an accountant,
I
which
love how they have
A
all
lot
of
of
this
people that
money to
are
do
getting
things,
the
but
child
can't
tax.
make the bastard pay damn child support.
right, there's that too.
Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
I don't pay child support, so I don't worry about it.
I understand that, but
Oh, I don't like the situation for you.
Yeah.
it's whatevs.
See,
I'm
this
I'm
is what
good.
causes
I'm
murder.
Just auto draft this out of the bank account.
Thank you.
That's the way it should be. Anyways,
Yes.
all right, trending local. What's we got going on locally?
13,000 origami swans were at Lakeland Regional in honor of the COVID patients.
That's a lot of origami.
But I thought of the swans and I thought of the origami and I thought of you guys. And I was like, oh, that's
Aw.
so sweet. And then it was honoring all the people that, had COVID.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was cute. But I just, aw, swan. And that's why I grabbed that one. So let's be honest about why I really grabbed it.
Well, mine is not as nice, I guess. But it's not as deadly either. So Polk County's actually been talking about the developers, so people who are actually building homes, building subdivisions, etc. And they haven't touched it in, I think they said almost over 7 to 10 years for the fees on them. And all of a sudden they're going to do like almost a 700% hike, which by the time that you're hearing this right now, it's already gone through. So developers, so a lot of developers cause, and that means that homeowners, you should be looking at your plans, you should be looking at your paperwork as you're going through these things and making sure that some of these items, so much hatred, you should be looking through that. If not, have a lawyer look at it for you and review it for you, so that way those
So
costs don't
developer,
fall on you.
what, like the developing land developers? Is that what you're referring
Yeah,
to?
so opening new subdivisions and everything like that.
I know you said that, but it wasn't processing. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I know you don't listen
It's
to a
like
lot to me.
fees for inspections.
Okay.
Yeah.
It,
So it's basically it's changing the times. Had they done it maybe little by little, but all of a sudden a 700% hike like that.
Yeah.
Woo.
Along with the wood prices. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great time to build.
Great.
Mind you, guess who's building?
Not us.
what about all these people getting pools right now? Like, how are these people affording these darn pools?
Because it's not wood.
Oh.
Concrete.
Yep.
Rebar.
Anywho.
Yep.
All right, so
Bit of mine.
my topic is Reggae Rise Up is coming October 21st through the 24th in St. Pete. The artists are going to be Damian Marley, Tribal Seeds, Slightly Stupid, Soja, Dirty Heads, Iration, and a bunch of others.
Badfish, the movement, resonated. Our friends from Summer Survivors. Tons. It's a 4-day festival.
Oh wow.
Nice.
3 or 4 days. Yeah. Yeah, 4-day festival over in St. Pete. So
So when you say festival, do they like open at like 8 and close at 10 type thing,
Pretty
or
much.
is it like
Yep.
open 24/7?
music all day
Yeah,
till the
yeah.
end of the night, and then clean up, and then all day.
Most of those places usually open up by like 11, 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then it goes until like almost 10, 11 o'clock at night. And again, you usually multiple stages. Two,
Yep.
three, like
Yeah,
maybe
usually-
2 major stages and
Usually
2
2
smaller.
stages, or yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, really, really cool. They had to cancel last year, so it's awesome to see it come back and be in St. Pete. I'm hoping we can go for one of the days.
Cool.
But we'll see.
Oh, so how many days is it again?
4.
Wow.
21 through the 24th of October. So, but we're also looking again at 98 Rockfest or Earth Day birthday too. So, and 311 is coming with
Maybe we
Iration
could go on Slightly
Um,
Stupid Soja.
on September 25th. Carrie's birthday, so we're going to that. So, and then mine was checking out the Winter Circle Newlywed Game on not so Newlywed Game on May 28th. But I also want to switch it up and talk about a local trending topic that happened over the last week. Grady Judd was on the radio talking about the Stand Your Ground law.
Oh god.
And apparently there was a dude that had repoed a car, and some guy called to come get his repossessed car, and they
boom.
got into a fight, and were like wailing on each other and whatnot. And I think the other guy had a friend with him that drove him up there to get his car, and the dude, I think his name was Shane, which is the owner of the repo lot, hit the one dude with his car, and then was getting in physical altercation with the other guy. The other guy runs away, and the owner of the lot pulled his gun out and shot
him.
3
Yeah.
times and hit him in the back of the head and killed him. So now he is going to jail for 2nd-degree murder. And what he had said was, "Oh, I thought it was stand your ground." And Grady's like, "No, you need to. When somebody is running away from you,
Yeah, it's no longer.
Yeah.
unless
Stand
he has
your
a
ground
weapon
is
in his
when
hand
your
and
life
he's
is in
firing
danger.
back at you."
Yeah, exactly. So
Stand your ground is when your life is in danger and you have no other way to get out of it.
Definitively
Yeah.
life in danger.
Yeah.
That's
And now we have to be careful, because how the law is substantiated in the state of Florida, as well as also in the county you're in. And don't forget, Chad, whatever state you live in, the stand your ground laws are different.
Yep.
So from here to Texas, and I think it's only 37 states that actually have a stand your ground law of some sort in place. And even then still, from the state to the city to the district or whatever you're in, they can differ. So it's not like, so what applies here may not be the same thing in Tennessee.
either way, you pull your weapon out to protect yourself
Right.
if
They're coming
it
at
is
you.
needed. At you. Not when somebody is clearly running away from you,
Yeah, they're back.
and unless they have a gun in their hand and they are pointing back at you and firing.
Right.
Like, other than that, and what Grady had said is, either way, any option that you have to get out of a situation other than firing your gun,
Right.
that's what you do. And this guy clearly had other means. Could have went and gotten his vehicle. He could have ran onto his property. Could have went and done anything except pulling the trigger, aiming at somebody running away from him. So, terrible situation. Hate to ever be put in that situation.
Would
But
he have
he
still
also
been
said
charged
if
if
you're
you would have
gonna-
shot him in the knee?
If you're going to
He'd have
fire-
been charged with something, but obviously not murder.
because maybe he's trying to stop the assailant to catch him, so they can try to go that route.
Yeah.
Again, this is not legal. Hashtag
Right.
not legal
Yeah, no
advice.
kidding. Yeah. This is a fun show. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Grady was also saying if you're going to carry a firearm, then you need to know the laws, and you need to.
Yeah, it's a major
It's
responsibility.
not like, oh, I thought I was doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta know the laws. And then as we're driving down the road, Tyler says, "I don't want to carry a fire alarm."
I don't either. Those things are annoying. Oh my god, they go off when
he
the smoke.
says, who wants to carry a firearm?
Why does anybody want to carry a fire alarm, Mommy Daddy? What?
Well,
Because Grady
Why is he
said-
carrying a fire alarm?
Because Grady said if you're going to carry a firearm, you need to know the laws. And Tyler
it's
said,
like there's laws for these things.
I was like, why do you
I'm
want to
just as
carry
confused.
a fire alarm?
He's like, fire alarm, no, we're not supposed to touch those. Like, that's right, we don't touch fire alarms.
Exactly. Good.
Yeah.
That's right. No fire alarms. Don't touch them.
Yeah, he's like, I pulled the fire alarm once, didn't I? Yeah, you did. It cost me $300 at the hotel. Thanks, bud. Anyways, moving on. Something awesome.
You guys are getting charged to say how Steve? Oh my god.
Yeah, I paid $300.
Oh
He
my
pulled the fire
God.
alarm in the hotel.
$133.
They billed the card.
Oh my god.
Good times.
How about you don't put a fire alarm eye height of a toddler?
We were in the handicap.
So this should cover at least half the charge.
Now, mind you,
We were in the
our rooms
handicap.
were handicap accessible. We weren't in a handicap room. It's a handicap. We're handicapped. Give us a room.
Stop.
Jesus. No, we were not in the
Stop.
handicap room.
Not
We were-
everyone. There.
It's a handicap accessible
frick.
room. Use the words right
Bad
before
frick.
before we get both people log off and stop watching us. Oh, before we move on to something, we'll just
Stop
include it
watching
in the
because we're
something
handicapped.
awesome shout out.
All right.
Happy birthday, Buddha.
Yes.
Hey.
Gonzalez, the
Hey,
business.
the
Happy
business.
birthday, sir. Thank you for tuning into our shows and giving us love, and thank you for hosting your awesome show and keeping
Yes.
us going. So we have something else to tune into. It's not negative.
It's all love.
Something awesome shout out. What you got?
Johnny Tucker with Optimum Detail. He's been detailing my car. Well, first of all, I went to high school with him. Secondly, he's been detailing my cars for years. But I had him finally do a full detail of the new car. And he pulls up and sees all these love bugs on my big old truck. So he came to wash the car, was irritated by my truck, washed my truck. So I just said, thanks. Like I knew that was going to happen, and I'm so sorry.
Why you letting love bug? You know not to let love bugs sit
Because
on
I
you.
knew he was coming, and that's the terrible thing about it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna park right here. I love
So he
you.
sees them and he'll get rid of
She's
them.
And
like,
his
"You're gonna get
OCD
rid of
went
my-"
crazy.
You
so-
see, that is
Like
taking
that.
advantage.
No, it's not.
I know, because she paid him for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt she paid
And
him
I
for
even
it.
tipped him
but-
for it because I knew what I did.
Yeah,
And I
okay,
love
all
him so
right.
much.
See, so at least if you know you were doing something.
I
He's
was
looking at it going, man, I got to be someplace in 15 minutes.
Because I
but-
took my mom's
but-
truck just to leave it there too. So I left for
You
the
knew exactly what you were
I
doing.
knew exactly what I was doing.
All right.
Man.
I love you.
I'd say she got you, but I mean.
Nah.
Nah.
But we still took care of him, so.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I know you guys use Busy Bee, but Johnny's amazing and just a great
Yeah.
soul and just
I love hearing
Amazing.
good people and happy to support them.
That's awesome, yeah. So for me, actually, it's there's a gentleman who've known he's a dad of a friend of ours. His first name, it's like a long, weird Latino name. Sorry, but we call him Cito because that's like the end of his first name. So
Okay.
we call him Señor Cito, and that's Martinez. So, but he's a local handyman, and the guy knows. It's just random things. You're like, how do you know everything about everything? You know about electrical,
You're a handyman, you're
but
supposed
yeah. No, but it's the thing. He never like went to work for that. He just kind of just learned throughout life and just knows
Yeah.
these things. So which is awesome. It's experience. But yeah, recently we were having an issue where our draining pan was fine, and because we usually have two drains, one to the front of the house, one to the side back area, and that back one was just backing up. So we were getting water
Wow.
dripping out from the actual grate up top.
Bleach.
So yeah, well we did that, and we did a vinegar and
Still
everything.
kept
and
backing up.
still,
Ours did that at our old house.
Oh, it got so dirty.
Yeah,
well-
forever. We were capping it. We vacuumed it out. Everything.
yeah,
still,
it's still same issue. So
Once a month, basically.
So yeah, and I say I did a snake in there and everything to that possible. So finally came in. He took out a chunk, like maybe like this big, like an L joint
Yeah.
here, and
It
it was.
like a yeast buildup.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gross.
It looked. First of all, it looked like Nutella because it was brown. but I mean, it was
thanks
thick.
for the visual, dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It was in the hole. It was brown. It was dirty. You're welcome.
Hey.
You just had to stick it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you tapped that. It was solid.
Oh, it was solid.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like a clogged artery in there.
Or this just went
So-
real quick.
Yeah, Yeah,
well,
welcome.
when we had our snakes and we had to have someone come out, it was like at our old house, but it
We're
was
like oysters.
Yeah, it was like grayish and jiggly, like Jello.
It
Was
Yeah,
gross.
we'll come to find out because when we had some of the
those
repairs done,
joints just catching them and catching
Well,
them.
like they're wavy, so.
when we had the repairs done in our garage and that stuff, so we had chunks of concrete in there because of the buildup from
Oh wow.
then when they're putting up new
Sheetrock?
sheetrock. No, not sheetrock.
Drywall?
Drywall. Thank you. So there was some of that in there.
That's the same.
There was
He didn't know.
He's not from this country.
this what you call paper.
He's thicker paper.
So yeah, but yeah, so I had. I mean, he said he found traces of the cement, like a buildup in there. He like I said that material just built up, and again, when it falls in a corner and things don't pass through in there, it just started building.
Yeah.
And we saw some drip through, but we're going, it's not all coming out exactly. And
Yeah.
come to find, so he replaced that for us, and
Oh, wow.
thank God he saved us over $500-600 probably.
It's one of those like you go upstairs and drop a couple caps of water down and see if it comes down. It just stops. You're
Yeah.
back into the bottom line. You're like, nothing's coming out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so saved us. If not, I was gonna call Barclay. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that was
We
my
need you.
that was my next line of defense if he couldn't get
Yep,
it. But
100%.
luckily he did. So awesome guy. He's been
Cool.
always helping us out. So, anyways, Patty.
Good to hear.
We recently went to Fish City Grill, and I had never been there, so it was really nice. The staff everyone was
Awesome.
happy, smiling, very helpful.
There was a happy staff.
I know it was.
People happy to work at their
It
job in service industry.
It was refreshing, honestly, because a lot of the times nowadays when you go places, people are overworked, underpaid. I mean,
Be
they're
afraid.
like it, and it's like when they're there, they're so overworked that they just can't be happy. I don't know, but this is like Fish City is a smaller like restaurant.
Are they a chain or?
I think
I think so.
But
yeah,
a small.
It's not a chain. It's kind of like saying it's not like a Bennigan's or a
Right.
Hardee's or.
I think they're only in like Texas and Florida.
Bennigan's doesn't even exist. What am I
But
talking
food was delicious.
Yeah, food was
awesome.
Food was
delicious.
delicious. Service was great.
Um,
Did really good with the kids,
On point,
which
yeah.
is cool because we had 3 of them. And
it was really,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
Great synergy. Everyone was happy and working together, helping each other out. So.
Mine kind of pairs up to it, but our niece Abby had her 6th birthday.
Yay!
For those that don't know, obviously, you people watching, with exception to 2 of you.
Family.
Yeah, family.
It's
she
4.
had open heart surgery a couple years ago, so every milestone is wonderful, and
Absolutely.
she lives her life as if
yeah, I remember now.
it seemingly never happened. She's just super resilient child, and she does everything that everybody else does, and life is normal for her again, which is great.
Yes.
So to see
That's a big deal.
6th birthday and stuff like that is awesome because onward past the dangers of that. So that's
The post surgery, they give you
super
so
cool.
much
And she's the
time.
coolest, most sarcastic little
Yes.
kid. I don't
Definitely
know,
your family.
What is it? Bluey?
Yeah.
Bluey. So
If you've
there
ever
is
saw the cartoon
if you've
Bluey.
never seen the cartoon Bluey, you have to watch an episode because it's funny because they talk in English accents and she talks in an English accent all the
It's
time.
weird.
And
No one
she's
knew where
sick.
she got her little accent from. And
then one day-
we were babysitting her, and she was.
I want to watch that. We're like,
Oh, it's Bluey. Okay. We
I
put
wouldn't
it
be
on. I'm like, this is you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Peppa
Like-
Pig.
no, but it was
The whole like
The whole-
demeanor, like
yeah.
the comebacks and
the way
everything
they
that
talk,
she
what
uses.
they say, everything. It's hilarious. So we're like,
She gets all her comebacks and.
we know where your little accent and talking is, and then Ashley was like, she watches this all the time, and it's cool because it's a show about using your imagination.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they're just going in and using their imagination to do whatever they're doing. Oh, we're going to the beach today, but they're in their bedroom.
Quick note. So also, parents, be careful what your children watch because I have a friend
Yeah.
of mine. She moved out of state, but Wendy, she was telling me that her child used to never say like no, like adamantly no. And then she realized that when her child started watching Caillou, I guess is the name of the show, the little bald kid or whatever. Yeah, he's always like no, and he's like the biggest little brat, And she's like, ever since he watched that show, and he does that a lot, he started saying no.
Well,
Like,
we had to do that. We had to do that with Daniel Tiger. We had to
Yeah.
stop.
It was very good show, but every show he worked through an issue, like an anger issue, being sad issue. Like he always had an emotional problem. That's teaching kids about their emotions and how to like get through certain problems. But
Tyler was getting upset at every
everything.
little thing was
Because-
now an issue and a problem, and he'd overreact and get mad and throw temper tantrums and things like that. And we're like,
'Cause
where is
every
this
episode-
coming from? What do you?
every episode, Daniel Tiger.
Yep. So
had a
we
meltdown, and had to work
figured
through
it
this
out.
problem.
Yeah, and you know what? I understand the premise of that, but I kind of consider those things kind of like the DARE program. I didn't know anything about drugs until I learned about them through DARE. So thank you.
Exactly.
Then he's like, can't wait to try that one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so that's what it should look like. That's more pure. You're right. Better cut.
Jesus.
I don't know what DARE program you went through because they didn't show us shit. They just like showed us words.
They didn't pop up the
Oh, no,
case and
yeah.
show you like
No.
backer board of
I went
this
to
and
a
backer.
Catholic
No,
parochial
it's-
school.
Oh,
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I was in California.
Public school, yeah.
I was in California. It came fresh right out of Mexico. They're like, here you go. This is exactly what it looks like because we just got it today
And it- yeah.
from the border.
I was surprised that police was going like, you should get a good tingle right back over here.
Opened up the case. There were 2 backer boards
Yep.
inside of it. Everything was labeled in
In
little
the
vials.
vials.
You could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I think we had the same police guy. He had good stuff.
Big bear-looking black dude. He was a big dude.
I got the nerdy
You
white
definitely
ones.
weren't messing with the drugs on that one.
Yeah,
I was also 9.
I can take him.
Yeah.
He's probably like 5'5", but you know we're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Hey,
True story.
but when you're 9 years old.
Yeah.
All right, so me, start us off, Rick.
Yeah, he must have signed out. Just like mention his name. He's like, we log off. We lost the wall. Somebody stop watching.
There
Other
was
than-
no murder, just little happy accidents. You're welcome.
I can't get mad at him.
You
It's Bob
can't. I
Ross.
was like, oh wow.
Those happy little trees. So, and which, oh, you know,
Patty's is a little disturbing to me.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
no,
but
real quick. This talking about our theme about serial
You put us
murders,
back, or you
etc.
still got the meme on.
No, still got the meme on there.
But then put us back.
No, it's no, I'm not her
still
meme.
on there.
Her meme's on there.
Oh.
Yeah, so. Yeah, no,
still on there. We're
they can see us. They can
Oh,
see us.
okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
I didn't know.
So,
I didn't get to see the design.
yeah, well, you do now. Anyways, you watch the show. Anyways,
What's wrong with him?
you know what?
Do you want to know?
How much time do you have?
Let's go back to the.
Anyway,
bear
anyways.
talk.
Anyways, no. What somebody had said was a conspiracy theory of like, what if Bob Ross's paintings were all murder sites of where,
Right.
of where he hid bodies? I'm like, I can never watch this the same. So, anyways,
Totally could be
being
that.
that looks like the mountains.
yeah, exactly.
So Everest, yeah, there's hundreds of bodies up there, so that's
Yeah, natural.
definitely possible.
He's like, what happened? Oh, just in the
We went
lake.
on a hike.
Is he still alive?
No. So, all right. So mine. Damn you, online. Seriously, internet. You have some great and wonderful things and other horrible ones. But this one right here, it says, do you ever wonder how many houses you've passed in your lifetime that have people locked in the basement? And I have to curse for this one and I'll drink for it, but it says at the bottom, well, I fucking do now. So, because
See, but I don't have that problem since we don't have basements. And I grew up in Florida.
They have attics.
It says basement.
So,
It says
so-
basement.
but swap it now for attics.
well, they have semi-attics.
Great.
Semi-
I think in Florida,
They have semi-basements where it's raised up
Yeah,
and then you
two-story.
can't create a
it's dead
basement.
now
Yeah.
because it's hot as heck up there.
But still, like now when I drive around, I'm like, man, I don't even want to know because people are horrible.
Now I think about that, like going down my neighborhood growing up. Yeah, I wonder how many of those creepy people did have.
How many construction sites?
No, not construction. We just had really weird neighbors.
We're right here, duh.
I said up when I
Up
grew up.
Oh, never mind.
Were there basements?
All right, go.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine says kidnap. I prefer the term surprise adoption.
Looking at that face, I'm pretty sure he does.
Well, it kind of plays into our Ariel Castro kidnappings because in his closing statements after he was sentenced, he said that he didn't kidnap them. He was just holding them at his house and they weren't allowed to leave.
I mean,
I
you could
pretty
say-
much think that that's the
you could say
definition
the
of
same thing about your own children, though.
yeah.
They weren't allowed to leave. Why?
I was holding them at my house and they just weren't allowed to leave.
It's such a softer term.
It is, yeah, just,
But but luckily we have Wack here to actually lighten the mood just slightly. So if you will, please.
Saw a kidnapping today, but I decided not to wake him up.
Dad joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
You should.
But now let's talk about
Grinding.
no. No.
Yeah. That's what this segment about. It's about grinding.
Wrong grind.
Wrong grind.
Working hard. Working
Wrong
hard.
grind.
Gears.
Well, Frick, would you like to grind?
Yes.
Wrong grind.
When someone wants you to click on a search, being me, I ask you to click on the search bar. But they look at the ads, not the actual search. So if you're looking for a comforter and you see that, hey, we want you to buy comforters here, we want you to buy comforters here, instead of going to the website that I told you to go to.
Comforters in the world.
Oh, so you mean those first like 2-3 links that you should not click?
Yeah, those are called ads.
Yeah, because it says on the left ads.
But it's like this particular search that
And I
is
do
gonna
a
be
great
right.
job of getting you to click on them.
But no.
then filling
These
out
are
the
like the Chinese, like Wish.com ones instead of, could you just go to Dillard's like I asked you to? You could have just typed in Dillards.com, but you didn't do that. You wanted to put in comforters at Dillard's.
But I got it for 38 cents.
It'll be here next year. And it'll come out the size of a quilt.
I was going to say, and you ordered a king
For a
size, and
Barbie.
it's like, yeah.
It's a
that's
Barbie
it.
quilt.
It's far king size. It'll cover my
You ordered
left
a 60
nipple.
by 40
Centimeters.
centimeters.
Or millimeters.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my
Possibly.
grand's right here.
What are you grinding about?
Well, so for myself, really, when you're actually working intently on something,
You work.
and
Oh, go ahead.
there will be a murder. So when you're doing whatever you might do, a task, etc., and you're really and people can tell that you're focused on it, but still they're like, I'm gonna go up and bother them, and I know I've done it before to Patty accidentally, and I've learned.
When you put this in there, I was like,
Yeah, you know,
Ah.
it finally happened to you. All right.
Learn to read the room.
I know. No. I know she's thinking. I know she's going like, you do know that's one of probably. See, you know, I should have just
I
given this
can't
one to
wait till
you.
you have a toddler.
Oh,
Your whole life is
one big interruption.
a toddler. Can't read the room. It's what it becomes.
Dude, learn.
Nope.
Everything
So-
is important right now.
Yeah. So yeah, but okay, adults, people who can think at this rate. If you see somebody who's intently doing something, whatever, you know, if you say a quick excuse me, like, oh yeah, hey, listen, I'm busy, gonna get back to you. I get that, no worries. But if you're like, oh, okay, but listen, just take a quick second.
Nah, I'd send you a text message.
My response is send me an email and I'll get to it.
And they're like, okay, but I'm gonna sit right over there.
You can sit right there all you want. When I have time, I'll get to it.
I'm just gonna sit there and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
All right.
All right.
Again.
Yeah, I didn't fill it in, but I couldn't think of anything. So I just realized that I thought of something. It, however, is being resolved, or it has already been resolved. We recently got new tires on our car, and I was all excited, like, to pick up the car, see the brand new tires. We go out and they're like gray and brown looking. Like, they're brand new, the tread is nice and thick, and
Why are they gray and ugly?
they're ugly. Like, why wouldn't you dress the tires?
Do you want them to put armor on it?
Yeah, like, just put the tire stuff, the tire blackening stuff on it. So they're nice and shiny. They're
You
brand new
bougie.
tires. Like, I paid,
Would be a cool. That would
paid
be
like $800 for some tires.
That would
and
be a
they
cool
should be
thing if a tire
shiny and
shop did
black.
that. Is that they put new tires on, they just spray tire wet on it, just so
It doesn't
black,
take,
shiny
you
Yeah.
don't even have to
That's
rub it in. You just
Lie to me. Just lie to
No,
me.
Do not touch. No. See, I'm different. Don't touch my vehicle. Like, I don't even want you sitting in there. Can I put
You don't have to touch the like.
I
You got new tires.
I get,
Dress the tires and then put them on.
but
the
people
car.
that have really pretty rims, if they were to do that, I would kill them.
Why?
Because that shit would get on my rims, and that's hard as hell to get off.
Either way, dirty tire.
Wait.
dirty tires.
Did you say you were gonna K-word them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drink.
Drink.
We should probably all drink because I'm pretty sure that I'm. Yeah, when I watch
You
this,
said the B word.
when I watch this tomorrow, I'm gonna go back and be like,
Yeah, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I owe myself 14
"Yeah,
drinks.
tomorrow when I'm drinking.
What's tomorrow? Right?
Right.
All right.
I really hope I don't feel like crap tomorrow. All right. Did you type in? You did.
Tires great and ugly.
It's in the doc now. It's real. All right. So mine is for those that don't know, the CDC has announced that you are now allowed to use your blinkers.
One, he's annoyed because people don't use their blinkers, and too. He's tired of people saying, the CDC says, the CDC says.
Yeah.
But the whole initial use your blinkers. It drives me insane. Number one, if I'm following you, and I'm following you because I don't know where the hell we're going. Use your blinker so that way I know where we're going and I can scoot over or just plan appropriately. Like, I'm a super aware driver is really what my biggest issue is that I'm a very aware driver, and people that don't use their blinkers are messing up my process. Because when I want to make the right turn out of my child's school
This is why murder
to
happens.
loop back around to and you're pulling in off the road and you slow down and then make your right turn into the school, but you didn't use your blinker, you wasted 15 seconds of my time. Then every other time you do it, or I'm following behind you and you just start hitting your brakes for whatever reason, then you slam on your brakes and turn. Perhaps if you turned your blinker on, I'd have known that maybe I should go left to get around you, or maybe I should slow down and prepare to stop so I don't hit you. Use your freaking blinker.
And
that's why it's there. It's built into the car, and when you got your license, you signed up and had to be realized and take note that you're supposed to use a blinker.
They are not Christmas ornaments to make your car shiny.
They are if you're.
What about
Hey.
the people that overuse them and like they turn on their turn signal 1,000 yards before they're actually turning?
Again, go back to school. You should have to retake your license.
Proper
every
use,
10
proper
years.
usage, yeah. So
You should have to retake a driver's test every 10 years.
I agree.
That's how I feel.
yeah, new vehicle as well. You got to learn how to drive the new vehicle too.
They should
I
play.
was screwed
Or
for 6 months.
if they did it right, because they could budget.
No, I'm saying if you changed within that time frame, hey.
Like every 6 months, I'd have to take that damn test.
No, I'm saying every 10 years, whatever vehicle you have at that time, you should be using that vehicle. So
What they should do, and an easy way to budget this, is if you place it on the 0 and then 10 and then 20, so 2010, 2020, 2030.
oh, okay, on the 10.
Because you could budget that we have this number of drivers on the road, and they know that on that year
Every
we're gonna
decade.
make a whole bunch of money.
No, that's true. That's what the government
They're
needs.
also going to be super
More money to
overloaded
waste.
with driver's tests, but whatever. Use your blinker.
It's all
All right.
online.
So we just went from things that are going to bother us
It's
to
the perfect segue.
from blinking into murders. Yeah.
Do things right, or you're going to end up
Kidnap.
like this guy.
Surprise.
Who's taking lead?
Go ahead.
The murderers.
Okay, so
Right here, chat.
we did our focus segment is on Ariel Castro.
Say it.
And
Well, it's actually Ariel, because I didn't know it was Latino. I thought it was a woman.
Oh,
Yes, Ariel, so it's Spanish.
yeah,
how do you?
like he says. He kidnapped Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Georgina De Jesus, and kept them captive in his in the Tremont neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio. That was between 2002 and 2004. Like each year, he picked up a different girl. Two of them actually were friends of his daughters.
Wow.
Oh, that's shitty. I didn't catch
One
that
of them,
part.
actually, the Georgina girl, she was actually walking home with his daughter. His daughter was going to his mom's house. They were divorced. They both wanted to spend the night with each other. So
He made it
his
for
daughter she has 50 cents to ride the bus or whatever, gave her money to Georgina to call her mom to see if they could come over, and parents said no. So Ariel's daughter went to her mom, and Georgina started walking to her house. That's when, almost immediately after, Ariel picked her up and kidnapped her.
Now, how did
The part that was. His
how did
daughter.
the daughter not
Because he didn't really have any contact with this kid, so to speak.
Yeah, so
Like-
he was pretty much by himself there. He was with
He
with
was
a
weird.
spouse.
I mean, people, his kids thought he was weird too. So it said what I read about him is that he was a very loving father to his female children, but his son
Oh, yeah.
he used to beat. But that was in the early years because he used to beat his wife too. She multiple broken bones.
So she obviously
she ended
she
up
got
getting-
full custody of the kids.
Yeah, she had a blood clot on her brain because of the beatings and stuff. But they could never I don't know why he was never charged. Like, all the charges kept getting dropped against him when his ex-wife would take him to court.
Because he probably beat the shit out of her again. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
don't
it?
know.
What is it when you mess with somebody before they testify?
Yeah, she eventually died from
we mess with
complications
someone?
of the tumor that she got, the blood clot that she had on her brain because of him.
You're talking like tampering with evidence?
Yeah,
or-
well, yeah, but it's the witnesses though. But maybe he was like harassing her before they went to court.
So
whatever.
I wouldn't doubt it.
was the 6-year-old? So I'm reading obviously that the 3 girls were imprisoned until May 6, 2013.
And-
Amanda Berry escaped with her 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
Is
She
that
was
his
born
child?
in
Yeah,
captivity.
because and some of the horrible
Apparently
things.
there were multiple pregnancies
Yeah.
with the girls.
Which, I mean, obviously that would make sense.
And he was
But
beating
he-
the crap out of them.
Yeah, he was beating them up.
starving them. Like, he would give them a pack of crackers or something to eat for the day.
Yeah,
and
once
he,
he
And he
beat them
chained
until
them.
they'd have miscarriages. And
Yeah.
punching, he did it
He'd
by
give
punching
them
whatever.
poison, like all kinds of things.
Yeah, and it said, and reading on there, and
So the girl that actually gave birth, Amanda,
it was in a
she
kiddie
was
pool.
like, I was shocked that I was actually able to have the baby, and the baby was healthy.
And during the pregnancy, he was saying that if the baby doesn't survive, that he would kill her. And actually, apparently, it wasn't a stillbirth, but basically, it was
She
born.
stopped breathing
It
for
stopped
resuscitation.
breathing, so he started doing resuscitation stuff. Because, I mean, the stuff that happened. And actually, I remember now seeing, because the scene, the TV, Chad, if you can see behind Patty, that's the actual house that they've demolished since.
Yeah, it's just an empty lot now.
Yeah, it's just an empty lot now. But again,
That was part of his plea deal, is that the house got demolished.
the
Yeah.
aunt demolished it with the crane, wasn't it? Wasn't it the
Yeah.
aunt?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was the aunt.
Yeah, and being in that house and everything else, he would just basically have everything just kind of happen in there because it's a pretty big enough house for a one single person and everything else. And I remember actually on TV watching this when they were walking him away from the house and all these things.
So what was weird is that he actually, okay, I guess there were 2 rooms where he kept the girls, and one of the rooms was subdivided into 2 rooms. Each girl had a TV. For some reason, he let them have like a old, busted, like black and white, hardly get any reception TV, but they still had TVs. So they knew that their parents were looking for them. They knew that
That's some psychological damage right there.
they knew like
Giving
what
false
day
hope.
it was. Like, they had information about the outside world, kind of. So it wasn't like they were just locked in the home. But yeah, they weren't allowed to go outside. Apparently, a couple of the neighbors over the years had called the cops, said that they saw naked women in his yard, like chained up naked women in his yard. And the cops just thought it was like prank calls.
Yeah, it's something like this. It's when I was reading through the whole material, I was going through the Wikipedia
The
page,
wiki,
looking
yeah.
up some. Yeah, I was looking up some of the actual news articles and everything else. These are the reasons why sometimes make me want to think I don't want to have kids because what if something like that was to happen to them and the murderous rage that I would go into knowing something like that because again for those who know I studied psychology. My thing was actually wanting to work with children and from broken homes, etc. And seeing something and this is the reason why I didn't make it through half a day work taking an internship with DCF because I heard some of the stories. I'm like, either A, I have to shut down my emotions and I can. That's just not me. And Lord bless those of you who can and do, and because those kids needed the help. But I said either A, I have to do that, and I know me, it's not going to happen, or B, I'm going to reach across and start beating the crap out of people because I hear these stories and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I know I get too emotionally involved.
It's hard. It's hard to sit there and not cry.
It's hard to sit there and not murder somebody. And this is me without a child. But I think I would understand, but I think I know it would probably go 1,000-fold if I did. And I'm going like, murder. I'd probably go blind with
Yeah, I
rage.
guess what happened when Amanda had the baby is that he started giving her more freedoms to take care of the child. Like,
Right.
she got her chains taken off.
So they were chained also
Then-
in the house.
Yeah, they were chained like to
Jesus.
their beds, like to their nightstands and stuff. But she got more freedoms to take care of the baby. And then as time went on, as the baby got older, started learning stuff, she started asking, like, the dad, called him dad, obviously, that's her dad, but said, like, why does mommy have to wear chains? Like, can you take the chains off of mommy? And so, like, eventually she wasn't in chains anymore. And then the little girl had free reign at the house. Like, she wasn't captive. Like, he used to take the little girl out places and do things with her.
And introduce her as the daughter or granddaughter, depending
Of
on
his
who it
ex,
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
of his
Was- now-
ex-girlfriend.
Wasn't also Castro? Wasn't his mother living there? Because I read something about like the little child would call like, "Oh, this is grandma."
No, he would take his daughter to see his mom.
Oh, okay, that's what. Okay, so it wasn't living
the
with
girl's
him.
granddaughter, or the girl's grandmother. Like, they would go see her. He would introduce. He didn't introduce them to his other children, but he
Yeah.
showed pictures of her.
And did his son also work as a reporter?
Yes.
And that was the weird thing because I was reading part of that going, how are you as a reporter?
Well,
but you never suspect your own
He was a reporter. He went to school for reporting.
journalism.
Then
Yeah.
he couldn't get a job in Cleveland, so he found a job somewhere else and as a bank teller or something, and started working in the banking industry.
And it's so weird because
But now he's named Ariel Castro as well. So like now
He's cursed.
he's
We're
like
changing that real fast.
I would go out of the court. I was like, I have a request. No, thank you. And it's got to be weird because you never suspect, your own parents or your own child perhaps
Right.
to be.
yeah, he said he felt terrible because not that he had saw his dad a lot, but he had over the years gone over to his dad's house, never knew that this stuff was happening because there were areas of his dad's home that he wasn't allowed in. Like,
Yeah, he said they were locked or everything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
so
Good
Yeah.
gosh.
You don't make any sort of noise or anything like that. Because
yeah, and I guess he used to have band
That's-
practices. Like, he was in local bands. He'd have band practices at the house, and
How awful. Oh, because
Yeah.
I'm in a band. You're in a band.
Yeah.
Imagine you're going somewhere like, oh, cool, this guy's just letting us jam out at his place. Awesome. And then imagine that you're like, oh, God,
Right.
no. I mean, that would keep me going like, what if I could have done something? Had I taken 2 seconds and maybe listened or whatever.
Okay, so outsider,
Uh,
a child that is so wanting of that parent's love and affection is completely blinded by their actions and their words because they just want the attention from that.
they're
Sure.
willing to overlook.
So I hear you, but I can completely see how that happened.
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously, because it has.
Well, I know, but I'm looking at my son.
No, you're right.
And it's happening right in front of me, and I'm like, really, dude? So anyways, go ahead.
No.
That's why I got quiet.
No, you good. No, 'cause- and listen, chat. I mean, you got to understand. Jump in on this as well. Let us know because not only this, but you got to realize that it sometimes happens around us. How do we keep aware of this kind of stuff when we're seeing something? I'm not saying go and suspect everyone because if that's the case, then I would have been in jail many years ago. No, but nevertheless, I mean, it's being serious. Like I said, if this guy had banned people in there, I don't.
Well, if the girls were not making any noise.
Exactly. Yeah. How much better would you
well,
know?
they said that he always had music playing and the TVs were on, and so just
And
a
if
lot
you're
of
chained, you
background.
really can't go bang on a window.
Right.
Right.
And what
Yeah.
if you happen to scream with all that noise going on? No one heard you, but he heard you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because I think in the stories, it also said that he tested them a lot, like would leave this door unlocked, but not
Yeah.
this door unlocked to see
Right.
if they would try to escape.
And it's okay. So another thing that really got to me was reading near the end when he's talking about now getting caught and getting the charges against him, which were what?
937 criminal counts of rape, kidnapping, and aggravated murder.
As part of a plea bargain.
I suppose the aggravated murder is of the babies.
baby.
Yeah. So 4 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of rape, and he pleaded guilty to all those. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he pleaded guilty to all of the stuff, but he was only charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and
That's
3 of rape.
ridiculous.
So yeah,
As
but
part of his plea deal.
And-
He was basically no death penalty because Amanda Berry, who had the child with him, said that she didn't want to be responsible for the death of her father's child.
which again, I'm
She
not.
said that he was a very loving father to the daughter and like separated from all the bad stuff that happened to the girls. He was a very loving dad to the daughter, and the daughter loved him. So
And so my point on getting to all this is going through all those charges and whatnot.
yeah, like how can you be like? How do you just like shut off parts of? I guess he was diagnosed with.
He's a manipulator.
Yeah.
the multiple personality, whatever.
Not-
so,
yeah,
like,
not
he was
full-blown
like one
schizophrenic.
person
Can I
to them,
introduce y'all
and
to
then,
somebody? Like, just like y'all would like relive this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I was saying a moment ago is with looking at all these items, he talks about, saying that that in his background, he talked about because he was originally from Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and he talked about in his background that he was never molested as a child, that he never got any beatings. He was, had a pretty normal upbringing and things like that, and this goes to show you that. It's not just nature, but it's also nurture, or sometimes it's a mix of both. But this one, I think, was more probably. It wasn't nurture. I think it was just nature. That something inside just snapped.
Yeah.
And so, how could he do those multiple dissociative disorders? And be able to be so kind and gentle with one person, but with the rest, And that happens on, I want to say, maybe in a multiple personality disorder kind of thing, but that happens on a day-to-day basis. So that we have friends that we've known that maybe are
Might have
relationships.
a completely different life behind closed doors.
Exactly, yeah, like with their spouse or with their boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever partner, where they're horrible. And I have a friend unfortunately going through something very similar right now. And I'm going like, you got to realize you got to do something about this and step out or find a resource. Like, oh, but
and
no,
then everyone
can't get
thinks
out of
everyone thinks you're crazy.
and I get it. It's
because,
easier
so-and-so
said than
is so
done.
nice.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a plan, and that plan does not come quickly. Trust me.
No, and I get it. Trust me, easier said than done. I completely understand that, but you gotta start building a plan at least. So, but this is I think at a more extreme level where there's murder, there's rape, there's assault.
So I think the daughter now that was born in the house, she's now 13.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They're in the 20s.
So I guess there was just a 2020 episode with interviewing the girls now. I haven't seen it yet. I would like to see it, but I guess it was done earlier this year or maybe at the end of last year. Relatively recent. So, Amanda Berry and Georgina DeJesus, they released a book together about all the things that went on in the house, and then Michelle Knight released a book separately from them, like earlier, like a year before the other book came out. But basically, her side of the story. I guess she was the one that took the brunt of the tortures and the rapes, and like he hated her more for some reason.
Maybe she looked like his.
She
abuser,
said or I think she was the one that tried to fight back and tried to escape more and
That would be me.
That's
try to
probably
stand up for herself more.
Yeah. God, and with all this, and then now I do like the quote there from Amanda Knight, because in the very last sentence right there is what gets me. I'm like, wow, that is
You
more.
could read it so they know it.
It's like, well, look, I'm actually surprised. Wack hasn't really spoken up much right now, so
I think he's bothered by it.
yeah. So
Of course.
yeah, but would you like to read the quote or?
Sure.
Yeah.
It says, "You took 11 years of my life away. I spent 11 years in hell. Now your hell is just beginning. I'll overcome all that has happened, but you will face hell for eternity. I will live on. You will die a little every day as you think of the 11 years of atrocities that you inflicted upon us. I can forgive you, but I will never forget." That part, like, I don't understand how you can forgive somebody for that, though. But
You can't heal without.
Yeah,
you
but-
can't, you can't get over it. You're gonna focus on it
Maybe it's more for
day
her
in
than
and day
yeah.
out. You're gonna
Nice.
relive it. You can't move on with your life until you get over it. So, like all the girls said something to that effect, that they forgive him. And
Because again, I understand if a person has schizophrenia, if a person has multiple personality disorders, those things you can't control because it's just imbalance, and it just happens. None of us have control over that. So I can understand that if that's the case, then yeah,
and I guess he had wrote a suicide note.
Oh,
in
yeah.
2005 or 2004, like right after he like kidnapped the last girl, and basically. I didn't get to read the note. I don't even know if it's released, but there were like snippets and stuff saying that like he felt horrible for doing, like basically he wanted to get caught. I guess he said in his trial that there were multiple instances where he thought he was going to be caught. I guess when he picked up the last girl, Georgina, he said that he picked her up right outside of the school, so there should have been security cameras with footage of
that's where you know where he's disassociating fully right there, because he was blaming the FBI for not catching him sooner.
Yeah.
It's like, it's your fault for not catching. It's like, don't test him. That's not how you test the
And he
FBI.
called- after he picked up Amanda Berry, a week later, he called her parents using her cell phone and said, I have Mandy, which was her nickname that she went by. She's like, I have Mandy. She's with me now. She wants to be with me. And then hung up. So back then, tracing technology isn't what it is today, but they traced within 3 blocks of his house. And
That's a widespread, it's a half-mile radius almost,
Yeah,
I think?
they
or
questioned
more?
random people throughout that area, but they never thought to question him. So nothing stood out about him.
You don't
I
question the
guess
source.
He was also a school bus driver for the school district.
Oh, God. Wow.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, me too.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all either.
Oh wow.
Great, and I'm going to look at every single bus driver now going,
So all jokes aside, that's why I never let my kids ride the bus
Yeah?
because
And I
of
never
car accidents.
messed
Because
with
like,
any of the kids on his bus. No.
but still, they drive unsafely. People don't care.
Yeah,
People cut them
he
off.
eventually got fired because like not following traffic rules and stuff. Like making.
I bet you he wasn't
illegal
using his
U-turns.
blinkers.
Probably didn't use it.
He left a kid on the bus. Like, I don't even know how this happened, but it said he left a kid on the bus. It was right after he had picked up Amanda Berry, and he was basically going home to make sure they didn't escape. So he was taking his lunch break. There was still one kid on the bus, and he parked the bus outside, went inside, tending to the girls inside, and then came back out and finished whatever he had to do.
Did the kid fall asleep or something?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, awesome, great, cool.
Usually, it's when it's one of the
Leaving the
guidelines
kid
you're supposed to
unattended
check
on a
your
bus,
rows.
making illegal U-turns and not following other traffic rules. So he
I don't know.
eventually got fired for
I
that.
did like our bus driver because she would let me early in the morning play my Punkorama tapes and cassettes. So I'd be there, and everybody's like, "Oh, what the hell?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" She was cool. She would let me like bring in music, so she was cool. But
So I
anyways.
actually screenshot Life 360 of a bus driver hauling butt down 37 when Hannah was actually on it, and turned them into the school because they were speeding. Right where it's like 50 miles an hour, they were going like 70.
Whoa. Listen, I don't care how quick you gotta get to the to the class field trip. All right, you have to go 70. So yeah, and again, but you're talking moments ago before all this about how he was saying that he was sorry. He said that he wanted part of his money that that when he gets caught to go to the girls to go to the families and things like that. So this guy definitely knew what he was doing. So he
Yeah,
can't plead
he
insanity.
knew right and wrong.
Yeah,
Like
he was
had,
there.
He had a mental disorder of some sort.
And he had a plan. So
Yeah.
But he knew what he was doing was wrong. He felt remorse about it. He wanted to be caught, but he didn't know how to just turn himself in. Like he didn't want to be like, "Hi, I kidnapped these girls. They're living in my house." Like,
because it's the adrenaline of not being caught and
Well, it's the fear. That's the reason why you can't full blame insanity, because if you're still fearful enough to know the four of us right now, and hopefully you as well, chat. If you have that little inner voice where you're like, "Oh man," we might say dumb things like, "God, I'll kill that mother heifer."
drink.
Dang it!
but you wouldn't
You're
actually.
welcome.
I will hurt this person severely until they no longer breathe. That kind of thing. Then we might say it out loud. We might be angry, but we still are fearful enough to understand that with society's rules and laws, I'm not going to do that because I'm too pretty for jail. So
You're never too pretty for jail.
no, I'm too pretty. Trust me. Have you seen those beautiful lips?
Somebody else is gonna think.
What? I have competition?
Lost most of our viewers.
They go like, "Hey, I was okay with the murders and the rapes, but no one gets weird about the Oz
I think
talk."
what really sucks for the girls though is that, like Michelle Knight had said, you'll basically rot in jail and you have to live every day knowing that you did this to
Yeah.
us. He hung himself in jail.
Yeah.
Like a month after.
That's a
he was
coward's way out,
sentenced.
though, man. Like,
Yeah. But again, that goes to show you that he had the mental capacity
Worked
enough
for
to know.
Epstein. Or did it?
Nah, he wasn't that big of a deal. So no, but exactly, yeah. So I mean, so you're right. So he doesn't get to suffer now. It's kind of like people who, I still remember going to like my first speeding ticket course class that they make you sit down, about drinking and driving or whatever. And this one guy, he's like writing out these checks because like every year he's got to, and it reminds him because he accidentally killed somebody. For that. So it's kind of like that. It's going to hurt you because you want to get that out of the way. So apparently he knew enough that he didn't want to. So therefore he offed himself.
I'd set that shit up on auto pay and just go away.
Not when you're in jail.
No, like it was
sarcastic.
Yeah.
Well, they have computers now in jail. You're right. Yeah.
Did he really commit suicide, or did somebody
Epstein him.
Epstein him because he messed with kids?
Well, because I was also.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because a lot of people in
criminals do
I don't
not.
think he had a
they didn't like people who mess with kids.
But they were stating that they don't feel that he committed suicide because he was on the every 30-minute watch.
Someone said
Take long
a psychiatrist or something thinks that maybe he had, like, since he was obviously messed up and he had sexual problems,
It was like
that it
erotic or
was
something.
erotic asphyxiation or whatever, that he had to choke himself to
Didn't that
masturbate.
martial arts guy go that way?
I think so.
Yeah, I forget his name right now. David something.
But then, like I guess the way the autopsy showed that it wasn't that. So
Correct.
Yeah, he still has pants on.
Yeah, but
All right. Any more on this? Because if not, we got bracket.
how would you want to die?
So we will throw the wiki link up in there so you can read a bunch of the stuff that we read. I also grabbed a YouTube video documentary that was done.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah. And I grabbed that.
Or
so
a Paddy saved file.
that's in there to be linked. It's about 30 minutes long for anybody that wants to watch it. So
not right now.
not right
Yeah.
now. Because you go to bed with nightmares, and we don't want none of
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And we got a bracket. So thanks for hanging out. Here we go. We're gonna move into the bracket of ways to go.
So now wait. Now hold on. Before we go through this, is this you doing this to somebody else, or is this me? If I have to
This
choose
is how you
myself.
want to
Not
die.
you.
Is how I was doing it. Was
Okay.
would you rather die this way or that way?
How about not?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Sleeping.
This
Why is there
there we
no
go.
sleeping
This is
here?
why you gotta do it. Go.
All right.
So would you rather die by being poisoned or tortured?
Poison.
Poison. I mean, it's gonna hurt, but yeah, I'd rather be poison
Yeah.
just little by little, just
Yeah. Yeah.
Poison's
Yeah.
way quicker.
Fast. We hope.
get out of the way. Get out
But
of
if
the
you
way.
got hit in the right way,
Nah.
you're being
No. Torture is
Torture
torture
is
is
not
torture.
fast.
Torture can take years.
waterboarding.
Pulling out nails.
Just
Yeah.
get married. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
Whoa. Whoa.
Get out, everybody!
Jokes in there. We all know that.
Gonna win as a live murderer.
Start the theme song.
Totally kidding. For my marriage. For others, no.
Okay.
Some of you don't need to be married.
Keep digging, bud. Just keep digging. All right. So poisoning with
The
all.
ones in abusive relationships should not be married.
Poisoning.
Poison.
I think
Yeah.
everyone agrees.
But most people actually think that by getting married, it'll solve the issue.
Yeah, or having a child. Yeah.
Totally,
Yeah, exactly.
totally, that fixes everything.
Yeah. All right. So, would you rather go by? I'm assuming like being blown up through terrorism. You know, so
That's how
somebody-
I interpreted it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or drowning.
Drowned.
Terrorism. Again,
Terrorism.
needed to be fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
I gotta get out of the way. Terrorize me.
Yeah, terrible. I want to blow up and explode and not be. I don't want to suffocate to death.
Yeah, because drowning, you're aware and things.
Yeah.
Unless you're passed out and okay, then maybe, but
Yeah,
your body will convulse. But
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
just.
okay. Would you rather be stabbed or strangled?
if I know that I'm gonna die, I'd rather.
Probably strangulation, because stabbing is way more painful.
Yeah, you're gonna
And
lose.
typical.
And you got to see all the blood.
Well, you might not see if it's your back.
I mean, it's traumatizing. You're gonna die either way. But
Well, you could like.
I'm like, it's
bleed
so
out for
traumatizing to see all that blood.
And
You're gonna die.
I'm assuming strangulation is just your air's running out. I mean, you're still doing the same thing as drowning. It's just.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, it's.
Yes.
Oh, y'all hate me. I love y'all.
I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
away from the stabbing pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess strangulation just kind of just just put a pillow over my face and just.
All right. So, would you rather OD or vehicular?
Again, less pain.
Is
Probably.
that like getting run
Again, how
over by
fast
a
is
car?
this?
Vehicular is that getting run over by a car?
Yes.
Car accident
Yes.
or getting hit by a car?
Getting in a car accident.
So, because how fast is it? Like, am I hitting and I'm laying on
If
the side
I'm
of the road?
driving, I want to die by vehicular.
Yeah, right.
I would rather OD because I think you just
You wouldn't feel it.
yeah.
Again, less
You'd be
pain,
numb,
fall asleep,
basically.
All right.
So
I guess I like pain and torture.
Yeah,
'cause
apparently
that's
you
where
do.
we're at.
somebody's got a kink.
Dang. Poison or strangulation?
Poison.
Poison.
Okay, poison. Terrorism or OD? OD? OD?
Again, in this case, I guess if it's maybe not being blown up because you still might feel and not die fully immediately just yet. So I'll probably go with OD if it's a.
Yeah,
If
an
it's-
arm
if it-
might fly off, a leg might fly
Right.
off,
Yeah, exactly.
and you just bleed to death.
So essentially you're Deadpool except you don't regenerate.
We probably should have thought of that when it was terrorism versus drowning.
Yeah. I thought it was wrong.
But if your head's blown off, you know you.
If your head's
If
blown
your
off.
head's blown
If
off.
it's
What
just
if
your
it's
arms
like
and your
your
legs
arms
and
and
you're
your
laying there bleeding out, like, would you rather drown?
I would rather drown at that point.
But I don't know. For me, drowning, I guess, just would be a lot more, like more time to think. At least I'm thinking too much about the pain, not thinking about what if I could swim faster and make it.
Would rather my
Yeah, I
arm
can't swim, so I would just
fly
die.
off. And
Poison or OD?
Probably OD, because it'd probably be something that I liked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like if you OD, you're doing it.
Give me all the Vicodin!
If you OD, you're doing it to yourself.
Like Xanax or
So,
something. I was like,
shoot.
Well, no, wait,
You
not
pick your
always.
poison.
No,
Not always.
Not
You
always.
could be given a horse tranquilizer.
No, actually, I was talking with my buddy last night, a famous lead singer. No, actually, yeah. No, because no, there's a famous guitarist and a singer from a punk band, and he had a legit prescription for I think it's for Xanax, and basically it reacted wrong because he had just had a surgery and it reacted wrong, and it wasn't like a OD like I took 30 Xanax. It was just medical. It reacted wrong and he OD'd from it. So there's a natural medical OD that can happen just by
Yeah.
accident. So it's not always OD. So I mean, if that's the case, I kind of go more peaceful than poison because poison, you can feel your organs being eaten away and you're
Sure.
feeling the pain, etc. and whatnot. So it can be worse. So I would rather, I think, OD on that.
Because I
case.
think you pass out and then you die. That's pretty much how that goes.
Is that the winner?
OD.
All right, there it is.
All right, we're all taking the coward's way.
There's
All
your-
gonna OD.
This is the worst. This is the worst case of me going. We have a winner.
You're
And,
welcome.
and we're oddly enough, OD is probably one of the largest, most vicious ways that people do die in the U.S.
And like you also said, sometimes it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, oops, just a smidge too much heroin or something.
That's not really an accident. It's like, oh, you're doing heroin.
Just a scotch.
I wouldn't
Just a
know.
little.
My veins are still good, people.
Okay, fun fact. Do you know that skosh is actually a Japanese word?
No.
Skosh means a little. A little.
Illegal.
A little. No, it means a little bit. So, because people say, oh, just a skosh, it's Japanese for a little.
I mean,
Like a
I
little
knew it
bit.
meant a little. I didn't know it was Jackie.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I was just like, I never knew. I was like, where the hell does that come from? See, something happy now.
We got the whoop in tonight.
Just a skosh of OD.
It's a skosh of heroin.
Jesus.
Yes, I got it from Jesus. Good guy. He's got a lot of things.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show today.
We hope you did. Okay.
Yeah, we really did because we've got a lot more of these that we want to do. We actually had to flip a coin, run a random number
Name
generator.
Yeah, grand
'cause,
generator.
you know,
So
that's,
good job to Patty for that.
technology.
Thank you.
So yes, so if you guys want to see
But
more of
everyone
these,
has
definitely be putting some stuff in the comments and letting us know that you enjoyed this show, and maybe we'll try and do one once a month or once every 6 weeks or something like that, and make it one of our topics that comes along. So.
Yeah. Who do you want to see murdered and talked
It's
about?
depressing, but I enjoy it.
This is the most.
If we could stay,
We're bringing them in.
here's the thing: if we could stay away from children.
Good luck.
I know.
But by the way,
nearly
this is the most least I've ever seen Wack talk ever.
I know.
Yep.
And look, we did. High five us.
Look, the non-talkers talked more.
We like
And we're proud of you.
He's
All
like,
right.
"God."
All right, what's our closing
else?
quote?
I don't know how to say the name, but
Me
killing
neither.
a person does not lead to nearly as much pain as creating a human being. Ain't that the darn truth?
Maka como maka hana no no.
That might be pretty close.
That really might be.
Mokokoma Mokonoana.
Pretty close.
Yep.
That is somebody's
Do
name.
you
We don't know
have
who
to
that
know
is.
everything?
Yes.
Yep.
He looks it up before the show. If it's in there, he's like, "Oh, I got this one. Got this one."
I'm a foreigner. I'm good at
Mess up
pronunciation.
these white folk.
Okay, that's only 25% true.
That's fine.
Don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, click that share button, because the minute you share it to your page, it's actually going to start the video for other people right at the beginning. So they'll get to watch the replay of our live, which would be great. If you want to check out past shows, click up here. No, just kidding. If you want to check out past shows, go to ffpw.live. There's all of our catalog of all our past shows, 59 of them. So
and on YouTube, yeah.
go check those out, and then hit up our YouTube channel. We'll throw that in the chat. Flick that bell for that subscribe button. That will notify you when we post a new video, so that way you can check us out next week when we are live. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Anybody else got anything else? Good?
I think that's all.
I'm out of drink.
Think that's it. With the amount of vodka that you saw him pour in the cup, I'm surprised he's still sitting.
He did
Stand-
only drunk like 3 sips.
It's empty. Yeah, it was 6 ounces of. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. We appreciate you. Sign on to social media. Turn off the news. Don't text and drive. Use your blinker. Epstein didn't kill himself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chicka digga digga da da. Chicka digga digga da da. Chicka digga digga da da. Chicka digga 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 da da. See ya.